Hello, everyone. My name is Mabel Mba. I am a graduate student at Texas State University. I specialize in public relations with a heart for communication that empowers and tells stories that drives impact. And today I'm very excited and honored to share my campaign plan for Habitat for Humanity. And the title of my campaign is Every Brick a Brighter Future. To talk a little bit more about myself, I have been able to work in the past and currently work with dynamic campaigns under various nonprofit organizations like Her Essentials, Beyond the Classroom Foundation. And it's very beautiful to see how much of these nonprofit organizations impacts the community. So today my presentation overview would talk about a cover problem statement, campaign goals, research, the personas, brand objectives, strategies, and tactics. And just to talk a little bit more about my client is a global Habitat for Humanity is a global nonprofit that provides affordable housing and sustainable communities. And this nonprofit organization is founded by Millard and Linda Fuller in the year 1976. And over the years, it has empowered over 59 million people worldwide through its sweaty equity ownership model. Well, the problem statement for this and why I really got into this is that there is an issue currently facing Habitat for Humanity, and it is a lack of affordable housing and awareness by low-income families, policymakers, and community supporters on home ownership, sustainable housing solutions, financial literacy, and community development. And so I did conduct like a SWOT analysis for this nonprofit organization Habitat for Humanity. And then there are strengths, such as a very strong global brand recognition. And Habitat for Humanity tells very compelling stories that connects emotionally with its audience. Diverse communication channels, website, social media, newsletter, and it's very effective use of calls to action for fundraising and advocacy. However, there has been like some weaknesses spotted. The website navigation could be actually more intuitive, inconsistent content updates across communication channels. And then there are opportunities as well for Habitat for Humanity to leverage on, such as emerging social media trends to engage younger audiences. I will talk more about these strategies and tactics as we get into this presentation. There's also an opportunity to expand partnership with corporations for co-branded campaigns and to increase the use of visuals and infographics to showcase impact metrics, collaborate with influencers to amplify the messages. Um, so the issue here, like I stated earlier, is Habitat for Humanity faces a lack of awareness around affordable housing and financial literacy, especially among low-income families, policymakers, and community supporters. So there is also a growing demand for urban housing and a need for evolving strategies to ensure financial sustainability. Well, there are a lot of best practices for success that Habitat for Humanity has engaged in, such as diversity funding through donations, grant sponsorship, and the use of storytelling across media platform is very effective. However, there needs to be consistency. Audience overview, the different audiences and demographics. The audience group we have here, uh, low-income families, the policymakers, community leaders, and college students. And the key regions are urban Texas areas where housing costs are rising. I'm sure we can all relate with this. The channels where Habitat for Humanity communicates are on platforms like Instagram, where you could read the Gen Zs and the millennials, TikTok, Snapchat. And as we get into this presentation, we will see how we can use these platforms to further increase the engagement level from this demographic. And then for the Gen X, we communicate to them through Facebook and emails, and the baby boomers, traditional media, you know. Um, So this is one of my personas, and he is a board director. His name is Boris Henderson. Boris Henderson is 45 years old, and he lives in North Carolina. Um, his income level is between the upper middle to high income. His education level is that of an MBA. He has an MBA. He has hobbies such as giving back to the community through volunteering and mentoring, especially with Habitat for Humanity. And he values family time and all. So his core values and motivations are that he believes in the transformative power of stable housing, education, and community support. He's literally motivated by personal experiences to give back and uplift others. But then his challenges and his pain points are that overcoming early life adversities, ensuring access to affordable housing, and balancing professional responsibilities with community service. And this is the reason why Boris has decided to be a part of this great non-profit organization and to run this mission, this fantastic mission that Habitat for Humanity has. Or his emotional driver for giving is his personal journey from living in a substandard housing to benefiting from a Habitat home. It follows his deep commitment to helping others to achieve similar stability. So this is for a board member. And another persona that I have is a client, Maria Johnson. Maria Johnson is a 35-year-old female, and she is a low to moderate income earner, and her education level is a high school diploma. Well, Maria has challenges, and the example of her challenge is a financial constraint, and her pain point as well is limited access to affordable housing and balancing work with parenting responsibilities. So Maria is a very good persona um that is very much affected by the mission and the vision of Habitat for Humanity. And her emotional driver is seeking home ownership. Maria really, she desires a permanent, secure home to provide her children with stability and a sense of belonging. And this is basically the target audience, one of the target audience for Habitat for Humanity to provide, people with home stability, home ownership, you know. And I will move over to out a persona under the category of a volunteer. Eliane Cardenas is a 28-year-old female who lives in Wimberley, Texas, and she's a moderate income earner. Now, Elia is a volunteer because of the challenges, the core values, and her motivation that she has in life. Eliane is passionate about social changes. She's very passionate about supporting families in need and promoting community solidarity. And so because of these, we have a volunteer like Eliane that is willing to actually drive this mission and this vision of Habitat for Humanity to ensure that there is stability in the housing um space. Now we have a donor like John Chukwuemeka. John Chukwuemeka is 50 years old and he's a male. He lives in Dallas and is a high income earner. His education level is that of an MA, which is a Master's in Business Administration. Now, John is a donor because he values long-term impacts. He believes in empowering others through access to stable housing, and he enjoys using his success to help those in need. One of John's pain points and challenges that balancing time between a busy career and personal commitments. And people like John are very important to the mission and the vision of Habitat for Humanity because they might not have the time to actually volunteer, but they have the resources to actually donate and to push the mission to ensure that, people's lives are being affected by this great non-profit organization, Habitat for Humanity. So this campaign goal is that in 6 months, Habitat for Humanity aims to boost awareness and advocacy on home ownership, financial literacy, and sustainability housing by increasing website traffic by 25%, social engagement by 15%, and volunteer sign-ups by 15%, and securing about 5,000 petition signatures. I will break down this as we go on, but this is the major goal of this campaign. Now, talking about the branding of Habitat for Humanity, Habitat for Humanity uses the Habitat green, which represents trust and hope, the bright green, which reflects growth and sustainability, neutral grays and white used for balance and clarity. And we use candid images of volunteers and families to build and drive the storytelling of the impact of this non-profit organization, Habitat for Humanity. The photos are usually real because it should feel hopeful and community centered, not staged. And on the website or on any platform, the typography used is Verdana, which is clean, legible, and accessible so that people can easily get information from the website. Back to my tagline, building homes, changing lives, with a hashtag build with HFH. HFH is Habitat for Humanity. And this hashtag will cut across all of the various strategies and tactics we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. The key message for this is build together, win together. Every volunteer and donor helps build a home. Invite 5 friends, get free merch. Housing for all starts with a policy change. Sign the petition now. These key messages cover the 3 SMART objectives for this campaign. The first objective for this campaign will be to seek increase. Habitat for Humanity seeks to increase awareness and expand social media engagement by 15%. Objective 2 is that Habitat for Humanity seeks to boost advocacy, leverage social media, email outreach, and in-person events to secure 5,000 petition signatures from policymakers, community leaders, and supporters advocating for affordable housing policies. And the third objective for Habitat for Humanity is to increase volunteer sign-ups by 20% within 6 months. Now, let's get into the first objective, which is to seek increased awareness and expand social media engagement by 15% by the end of the 6-month campaign. One of the strategy would be digital storytelling and social media engagement, which basically we will cause people to it would be used to drive content, to grow awareness, and to drive action online. And one of some of the tactics here are to launch the hashtag build with HFH social campaigns for storytelling in series featuring stakeholders like the Carters. Use TikTok to run mini challenges for Gen Z to refer 5 friends to build with. There will be a hammer challenge, and on TikTok right now, one of the things that drives engagement is challenges amongst the Gen Zs. And so if we use this challenge, it would be a way to increase engagement for Habitat for Humanity. And so I have come up with these tactics for Gen Zs to create a mini challenge and use this hashtag, the Hammer Challenge, hashtag build with HFH, sorry, one swing at a time. And they can refer 5 friends where when they come together, they could actually help volunteer to build a home. They could also, another tactics under this strategy is to partner with influencers and platforms like Home Depot for branded reels, run geo-targeted ads on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to provide visibility, customize content for each generation. For Gen Zs, short videos on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. For the boomers, testimonials on Facebook. Use unified hashtags like build with HFH to tie all the content together. All of the content, all of the tactics will be bringing to life. There will be a unified hashtag, which is build with HFH to tie all of the contents together. So one of these tactics that I decided to bring to life is to launch the hashtag build with HFH social campaigns for storytelling in series featuring stakeholders like the Carters. Now, there would be a post like this on Facebook talking about how the Carters are kicking off this campaign with their Habitat story. So this would definitely be a testimonial talking about the journey, the history, and all of the impact that the nonprofit organization has brought to the community. And for engagement level as well, there will be a question asked, who is next on our list to share their story? Guess right and win free merch. Now, I would share with you shortly some of the merch that I designed for this campaign. These tactics would increase engagement because there has been a question asked, and so people would respond Not more so, there are familiar faces that would draw people, attract people to want to know more about what this campaign is about. And by this, using these tactics, I do think that there would be an increase in the social media engagement for Habitat for Humanity. Another
Imagine swinging a hammer and feeling the rush of building something amazing. The Hammer Drop Challenge is your chance to make a real impact while having a blast. Picture this: you and your friends working together to construct homes for those in need. Each swing of the hammer brings us closer to our goal, and guess what? You can earn exclusive Habitat merch and VIP access just for participating. It's not just about building houses, it's about creating a community, making memories, and having fun while doing it. So grab your hammer, rally your crew, and let's turn hard work into rewards. Together, we can change lives, one swing at a time.
Awesome. So this is a bring to life tactics of using TikTok to run mini challenges for Gen Z to refer 5 friends to build with. So this is a kind of video that we would circulate on TikTok for the Gen Zs. We using the hashtag, the Hammer Challenge, hashtag build with HFH, one swing at a time. This will enable people, young people, Gen Zs, like reach out to their friends. Hey, have you seen this challenge? What do you think about it? And it is a way to actually bring them together for them to volunteer and increase engagement as well. So another strategy under the first objective, which is to also increase awareness and expand social media engagement, will be strategic media outreach. Now, it is important to earn trust and visibility through traditional press, known advocates, and public events. So some of the tactics will be to distribute press releases tied to build milestones or housing legislation, pitch podcasts and radio segments featuring Habitat families and advocates, host a state capitol press conference around key bills or policy milestones, engage celebrity advocates like Malcolm Mitchell in PSAs on Snapchat and interviews. Like when people see celebrities like Malcolm Mitchell in all of these campaign, they will be more attracted, more drawn to want to not just find out what it is about, but to also be a part of it. So it is important to engage celebrity advocates like Malcolm. Organize virtual media briefings with journalists, legislators, and HFH leaders. Create shareable press kits with housing stats, quotes, and story prompts. Align stories with national observances like the World Habitat Day or a National Home Ownership Month. So these are tactics under the second strategy, strategic media outreach that we could utilize to drive this campaign. So a post like this on Snapchat, on the people's adverts pages would definitely spark interest, would definitely make people more engaged, more interested in this campaign. So when we engage celebrities like this, like Malcolm, for sure, definitely would reach out to the younger Gen Zs, reach out to the younger people, the Gen Zs, for them to be interested and joining in this campaign. So Malcolm can share a post like this on his Instagram or his Snapchat or his TikTok, whatever social media platform, and he can put a caption that says, I will be at the Habitat for Humanity Community Football Match Day. I can't wait to see you there. Hashtag build with HFH. Now, I will talk more about this community football match day soon. So now to the second objective. Habitat for Humanity seeks to boost advocacy and by that leverage on social media, email outreach, and in-person events to secure 5,000 petition signatures from policymakers, community leaders, and supporters advocating for affordable housing policies. And the first strategy, as you can see here, is email campaign for advocacy and fundraising. And some of the tactics will have to be to build segmented lists, donor volunteer advocates for tailored content, send bi-weekly newsletters with stories or testimonials of people who have benefited from, Habitat for Humanity. Use one-click action button on an Instagram sponsored ad in collaboration with the Home Depot for quick engagement. And the call action will be donate share sign. All they have to do is click on the button so that they can, sign that petition. So we can also encourage subscribers to share their personal housing stories, testimonials to build change. And this is a sample of the kind of testimonials that could be shared bi-weekly through emails to build or to sensitize people on this campaign for advocacy and fundraising. A sample of this, write the person's name and how the person has benefited from Habitat for Humanity and how it has been such an impact and a life changer in the person's life. Another tactics would be, I created this, would be this would pop up on people's Instagram pages as a sponsored ad where there is a collaboration between the Home Depot and Habitat for Humanity. Home Depot is a perfect collaborator with Habitat for Humanity because Home Depot is an outlet or a store that sells housing items, and Habitat for Humanity builds houses for people, and for sure for you to live in a house and make it a home you need these items. So it will be a beautiful collaboration, and then there will be a one-click action right here for people to sign this petition in order to drive this campaign. Other strategies are earn media for public advocacy. Because of time, I'm going to try to wrap this up. We could use earn media for public advocacy, write time press releases about community builds and legislative priorities, pitch local news stories, focus on clients, volunteers, and advocacy wins, organize press conferences at state capitals during legislative sessions. And another strategy could be corporate sponsorship and matching gift items. Work with big name companies to launch matching gift programs that double donates. The third objective for Habitat for Humanity is to seek to increase volunteer signups by 20% within 6 months. And we could use the digital gamification and referral program for this to drive this campaign. We could launch a gamified referral system where volunteers unlock Habitat merch or event perks for every 5 friends they recruit. We could also feature a volunteer spotlight series on social media, showcasing individuals who are making a difference. So, featuring a volunteer spotlight series like this on social media, showcasing individuals who are making a difference, will definitely make this campaign a very fruitful one. And will make the volunteers more appreciated, more seen, more valued, and would also encourage other people to be a part of this great mission. The second strategy under this objective to increase volunteer sign up by 20% within 6 months will be on the ground recognition and volunteer events. And we could host like volunteer appreciation events such as builders banquets or award nights, recognizing top contributors, organize a community football match or field day with a celebrity appearance like Malcolm, which I mentioned earlier, where the winning team dedicates their trophy to Habitat's mission of mixing fun with purpose, distributes personalized branded thank you merchandise like hats, tool belts, tote bags, water bottle, just to appreciate the volunteers for this. And this is one of the tactics brought to life. We could have a post like this on Instagram showing the property brothers, familiar faces, organizing a community football match or field day with a celebrity appearance. This will definitely drive people, motivate people, inspire people to attend the event, and it will drive, this campaign. So featuring people like this, it's definitely a good idea. Another thing we can do, as I mentioned earlier, is to distribute personalized branded thank you merchandise like hats like this with the hashtag volunteer for hashtag build with HFH, t-shirts, tote bags, hoodies, water bottles, tool belts. And these are all necessary because if they're volunteering to build, these are appropriate branded merchandise to actually give them. They need a t-shirt and they need a hat to protect them maybe from the sun or whatever. They need the bag to put their things. They need water bottles because they get dehydrated in the course of it. They need a tool bag to put their tools whilst they work. They need a hoodie to protect themselves as well. So the execution timeline for this will be it's a 6 months campaign. And so in the month of May, the campaign can kick off. There will be press releases and social media ads going on around so that there would be that sensitization and creating the buzz to the campaign. In June, there will be digital storytelling campaign, influencers collaboration, where a lot of influencers are now coming in. After we must have created the buzz about this campaign, the influencers will come in and ensure that they're amplifying this message. In the month of July, there could be a mid-campaign assessment, advocacy event, assess how effective these campaigns earlier run is, making impact or making the numbers. In August, there could be a volunteer recruitment drive, corporate outreach. In September, fundraising event, media outreach, campaign wrap-up in the month of October. And then we'll have to create like a report release on how the campaign was effective. And this is a visual representation of how this campaign would increase engagement level. The current number of followers on Instagram Habitat for Humanity has is 161,000. And by running or by executing the strategic communication plan, Habitat for Humanity will expand its reach, mobilize supporters, and drive impactful change in the fight for affordable housing. And hopefully, after this campaign, if all of these tactics and strategies have been applied, we would be reaching a followership of 31.2K within 6 months. And by that way, the engagement rate would have increased, the engagement level would have increased by 15%. So every brick, a brighter future is more than a campaign. It's a movement for lasting transformation. Hashtag build with HFH. Thank you.